This is a very classical appearance of renal cell cancer. As you can see, we've got a kidney here that's been bisected. Upper pole's here, lower pole down here, and we have a large mass that is clearly destroying the middle aspects of this kidney and distorting the calyceal system. This mass, you've got to ask yourself, is this a neoplasm or is it a hyperplastic response? And clearly the destructive nature and the size of this and the focal nature of this mass is strongly suggestive that it's a neoplasm. And if you think that, then the next question is this a benign or a malignant neoplasm? You might remember that the pathological hallmark of malignancy is tissue invasion, and pretty evidently in this specimen the mass is invading and destroying renal parenchyma. Zoom in a bit, we can see quite clearly these masses of tumour that are destroying tissue. So this is a malignant neoplasm, and in fact it's arisen from the epithelium of the kidney, and therefore it's a carcinoma, a renal cell cancer. It's worth taking a look at some of the features of this mass, and the first thing I'd draw your attention to is its variegated nature, or its heterogeneous nature of its cut surface. You can see there's a lot of variation in colour, but also in texture. Firstly, you might notice the large areas of pale tissue centrally in this tumour. This area here, and bands of it extending out into the surrounding tissue structure, and in some places joining with this pseudocapsule of the tumour. These areas represent fibrosis, and you can see that it's central and it has a classic stellate or star-like appearance of central fibrosis seen within a tumour. The next areas you might notice are the dark brown areas, which represent focal areas of hemorrhage within the tumour. This is an indicator that these renal cell carcinomas are highly vascularized tumours. Finally, you might ask yourself, well, where is the actual tumour? And the answer to that question is that the tumour is these pale, slightly yellow fleshy nodules seen most easily at the periphery of the tumour and advancing into the renal parenchyma. If you scraped these nodules with a knife, you'd find that their consistency was more like pate than anything else, and that's because these cells are very full of lipid. The connective tissue is hard and tough. The tumour, and that hard, tough connective tissue, it's important to understand, is not the tumour. It's the body's response to the tumour. The tumour itself, quite soft, squishy, lipid-laden cells. This is the classical appearances of a renal cell carcinoma, and it highlights the fact that the process of neoplasia occurring here is also associated with the other pathological processes, in this case of healing or scarring because of the formation of the scar tissue, but also not easily seen here, the process of necrosis, where the tumour nodules, because of increased tissue pressure centrally within the tumour cells die. Can't easily see that, but they've been replaced by scar tissue after their death.